You probably all still remember the time you picked your artist name, or if you don't have an artist name yet, you're probably struggling thinking about how to name yourself. So today, a couple of tips, tricks, and advice how to pick your artist name.
Another doubt of promise.
Hey guys, welcome to today's vlog. I'm feeling extremely energetic today. I slept for the very first time like a human being more than 8 hours, which I haven't done in probably 1.5 years since I actually started doing these daily vlogs. Because the only way you can make a video every day without being disturbed, making music, which is my main thing as a DJ and producer, is by just sleeping way less. And it's somehow working. I don't know for how long, but today is actually the day where we will pick a community name for this channel. I asked you, I have a lot of your suggestions. I will do the voting probably on Facebook. And speaking of names, I also wanted to talk about how to actually pick an artist name. That's something a lot of people struggle. I every time struggle when I have to pick a name, especially when I know that I have to stick with it for a long time or even for the rest of my life. I can't even imagine how hard it has to be for parents to pick a name for their child, but I still have time for that, hopefully. As you know, Vanessa's sister is already pregnant. Her baby's sonar pic is hanging there on the back wall. But yeah, let's change the subject. It's time for coffee. So let's first of all start with my own artist name. A lot of people always have questions about that. So my artist name is Jon Sine. The Jon actually stands for Jonathan, which is my real name, my full name. So it was important for me to have an artist name that is close to my real name, because it would be weird if someone would call me with that artist name and I wouldn't react and it would be too far away from my real name. So Jon is just a short version, Jonathan is just way too long. That's also the main reason why my artist name isn't written with an H, Jon, as it's actually more common, I think. I wanted it to be closer to Jonathan, and this way it's also easier to search on Google, on search engines. That's actually something really important. You should definitely consider picking an artist name. It has to be searchable on Google. If you pick a name that is too common or is already picked by another artist, a soccer player or a singer, songwriter or whatever, it will be hard to find you and your music. The Sine, of course, is sine from a sine wave. That's something that has to do with music more than anything else. Every single tone we hear consists of sine waves. But actually going back even further, before I named myself Jon Sine, I was called DJ Sine. Back in the days where I was playing hip-hop music, I was called DJ Sine, and that sign actually came even from the time before that, where I was doing graffitis. Of course, only legal graffitis, and my tag, like my name, my writing thing was Sine, because I had like a smooth sine wave kind of style. And yeah, once I switched from hip-hop to more electronic and house music and also started producing, I just switched from DJ Sine to Jon Sine. I also thought like having DJ in front of your name is kind of lame. DJ Khalid. I mean, for hip-hop it's okay, but for house DJ, having the DJ in front is very, very, very uncommon. And if you're wondering why people pick artist name, I think it's pretty obvious, because you want to have the separation between you as like the private person and your art. Lady Gaga is definitely different than she is in real life when she doesn't wear all of the makeup and wears these weird costumes. Yeah, that meat thing. Now, I got even 2 more examples for artist names. As you can see, this picture right here in the back was made by my dad. He is an artist, so I know how it is growing up with artists in the family. And he also has an artist name. He has still his real first name, but he switched his last name into another one just to be a little bit more private, and also because his real last name and my real last name, they just don't sound good. As you know, it's not only my dad that is an artist. My mom is an artist as well. That's one of her pictures. She just kept her first name and also her last name before getting married. Again, probably because our last name is just not good. Sometimes you're just born with the wrong names, then you have to pick something. Okay, you know what, let's continue that actually in my studio, because I'm not only running around with a camera 24/7, I'm also actually making music every day in the studio, and it's already pretty late. That's the one downside I hate about sleeping long. The day just seems so much shorter. Yay, it's raining. What would be a day without rain in Germany?
You're like cigarette smoke in a dark and empty room.
On my way to the studio, I ran into one of my neighbors, and they always just call me the Boom Boom Man, because I'm quite loud making music here in the studio, so I try to avoid by all costs meeting any one of my neighbors. I always hide whenever I hear someone, but today it wasn't possible to get around it. But yeah, I try to be as quiet as possible. I try not to work on the weekend. I try not to work late at night, but sometimes there's just no other way around it. If I need to finish a track and I have like a self-set deadline, I want to finish it by then. And the next deadline that I actually have in front of me is finishing the track with Gavin, the We Runnin' track that I showed you yesterday. And I actually just got one more month to finish it. Should be possible without a problem. But now let's actually get back to topic, artist names. There are always kind of trends for artist name. I remember back in the days where I started making music, the trend was like having names that sound like real names, like having a surname and like a family name, like David Guetta, Carl Cox, Sebastian Ingrosso. Some of them are real names, some of them are fake names. Jon Sine is a fake name. I think that's pretty obvious. If you thought that's a real name, let me know down below in the comments so we can make all fun of you. Then more and more people started with project names like Deadmau5 or Skrillex, and now we're actually got to a point where names are getting shorter and shorter and weirder, because that increases the likelihood for being searched on the internet. The shorter the name, the easier you can type it. The weirder it is, the more it is using, the more kind of weird signs it's using from the keyboard, the easier it is to find online. A lot of people starting new projects have that really in mind. But be careful following these trends. We had like a progressive house era where names were more cool and kind of underground. You know what I mean? And then we had like a big tropical house phase where everything was just one word and had like a ring to it that's kind of fit to tropical house. And now names are getting a bit more masculine again, which fits better to like the bassier kinds of music. Please, at the end, if you pick a name, don't worry about those trends, because they change and your artist name stays. And if you pick a very trendy artist name that fits to one style of music and you might change your style or develop it, artist name doesn't really fit anymore, so be careful with that. For example, if you name yourself Hurtwell and you all of a sudden make pop music, I don't know, it doesn't really fit anymore. So yeah, keep maybe a neutral name if you want to stay diverse, or maybe start a new project whenever you make another type of music, or just get big and famous and no one will care. Why does no one care with big artists about their names? Because first of all, they're brands, they have a value behind them that is really important, and they branded their names for so long and it stuck to so many people that the names do not sound weird anymore to us. Here in Germany we have a DJ that is called DJ Pipi, we have a DJ Kotze, and I should probably explain, Pipi is P and Kotze is vomit. His DJ name is DJ Vomit, which no one really cares about because he branded it for so long that if you hear DJ Kotze, you're thinking of that guy and not of someone throwing up. So at the end, no matter what artist name you pick, it's all about the branding, making the name stick, even if it's weird. Most artist names, if you think about them, they are not really good, not really creative, do not really have a nice ring to them. But if they're branded in the right way and you make the right music and the music stands behind the name and behind your brand, I think you can get away with any name you will ever pick. Just pick something that you're comfortable with. Say it out loud in front of a mirror, and if you don't feel weird and if you don't feel embarrassed or ashamed or anything like that, then it's probably the perfect artist name for you. A lot of people also pick something that they like, that they're close to, maybe an animal, maybe their pet, maybe some technical thing that you, I don't know, or something that is close to your actual real name. that's probably a good starting point. I don't know if I already mentioned it, but whenever you pick an artist name, stick to it. The second you change the name for no reason, or just because you don't feel comfortable with the name anymore, or because it's not trending anymore, you will have to start all over again. If you change your name, it's like a hard reset. Everything that you've built up to that point is almost immediately all gone. But yeah, basically enough with talking about artist names and all this kind of stuff. Now it's time to work on the new track with Gavin. We running. I want to advance. As I said, just 1 more month until I have to finish it, and you never know what will happen, so trying to advance.
Then the shadow of you.
All done with working on the Gavin track. Yeah, I redid the entire track. Basically, I started an alternative version a couple of days ago just to test something out, because I had the feeling the original version of the We Runnin' track was sounding good. It had this progressive 2008 kind of vibe, but it doesn't really sound like now. So I tried something different out in the drop part, and I'm not sure about which of the two versions to use, the progressive one or the a little bit more future-based influenced one. So let me play you both and you get to decide. First, the old version. It's still very raw. It's just like about the general style, which one you prefer. And now the new version. As you can see, to create this part, I had to choose 4 different Serum Synthi instances. And I had to do all of this in a separate project because my computer can't handle 4 instances of Serum and everything else going on at the same time. I think I should really start saving up for a new computer. It's really about time. Speaking about time, I'm as always late. Ooh, it's again experimental time. Here's even more. If you need anything, just pick it up. Just quality stuff and all for free. It's kind of a cool system. That's German efficiency. I actually got my very first skateboard from one of these experimental things. I'm almost back home and yeah, late. But let me actually know about your artist name, how you came up with it, what the story behind it is. If you're thinking about an artist name, you can post it down below and get feedback from other people. I think that could be really interesting, so check out the comments down below. I hope she isn't too mad. She always has to wait for me for dinner. As you know, hungry women aren't the easiest to deal with.
What?
Except for Vanessa, of course. What's actually your artist name?
My artist name?
Yeah.
I don't have one.
You don't have one. I think Vanessa needs an artist name, so if you have any suggestions for Vanessa's superstar DJ career artist name, let us know. Do you want something girly or something cool?
Girly, of course.
Girly, okay. We need a girly artist name for her. Okay guys, now comes the exciting part. Since I'm always having that much trouble figuring out a name, sticking to a name and all these kind of things you can probably understand, I will just use the easiest way and let you guys decide for a community name. At the end, it's your name, so you will get to pick it. I will put a link down below to my Facebook page, and there do like a voting system where you can pick your favorite name. By the way, amongst all of the people participating in this voting, I will give away 10 spots for the Jon Sine team app where you can communicate with other producers, get feedback for your tracks and all these kind of fun things. And don't forget to like, subscribe, be part of the notification squad. Just hit the bell and leave a comment with hashtag notification squad to have the chance to also enter the team app. And now I have to figure out how actually to fall asleep. It's like past midnight and I'm still awake. Usually I get tired like around 1, 2 or 3, but since I slept so long, this will be probably delayed, which will at the end mess up my entire sleep awake rhythm, which I just hate. Because DJing as last Friday usually throws me off. It's like being jet lagged, plus the hangover, of course. By the way, if you've missed that video, you should definitely watch it. I will link it up at the end of this one. That's it. See you tomorrow again. Probably just, yeah, to the studio, working, doing something fun together. I'm the cook in this relationship, as it seems, but yeah, let's do something mostly healthy.
You're like cigarette smoke